Okay. Hi there YouTubers, how you doing? It's Baldrick here. Now in this episode I'm actually going to be doing a walkthrough of how I took this photo. Now this is a 20 by 30 canvas in a float frame, but I want you to have a look at the episode before I actually show you. So this time I'm going to flip it this way and show you just the back of it. As you can see, it's a canvas. It's on a float frame, which means it's been mounted to a frame. It's got its nice heavy industrial strength wires ready to hang. So yeah, enjoy the episode of how I captured this photo down at Second Valley. Welcome back YouTubers. Now I'm down here at Second Valley, which is down near Cape Jarvis, down the south of South Australia, and I've been wanting to get a nice landscape photograph of a seascape area. Now when I first came down here a couple of weeks ago, I actually got here way too late and the sun had already set and there was nothing happening in the skies, and I was pretty disappointed because this is like 50 odd kilometers out from where I'm usually based, and that's a lot of time out. That's a lot of time to use up petrol in the car and a lot of travel. And so today I actually was looking at the sky and I'm looking at the weather forecast. I was going, ooh, there's going to be some high cloud and then there's going to be some mid-level cloud that's going to be included into the weather today. And I decided I'd come down to Second Valley to give it a second chance, if you like. And when I've got here really early, and I decided to do a bit of exploring to see what else was around this area. Now originally I first started out where the jetty is, which is over that way, and there wasn't a lot of dynamic to the stone, and I decided I'd come over to the other side of the beach where there was more of a rocky outlay. During that exploration, this is what I found. That is I might call it the second chance ridge or something. Leave a comment down in the comment section below to make your your suggestion of what we should call that little cave area. And as you've seen in the previous videos, it took a while to get here. It's very much a very hazardous way down here, and I'm going to be taking it really slow getting back. It is about 6 o'clock, so the sun is still up in the sky, fairly high, but the high level cloud has moved away, and we've got a little bit more of the puffy mid-level cloud that's going on at the present moment. I'm going to hope that with that mid-level cloud, the reflection of the sun is just going to bring up that nice red that people see in those sunsets, and that will go perfectly with the copper kind of effect that's got on these stones here. I think I'm very excited, and I think I should probably get my setup ready, and then it's just the waiting game. Okay, the sun has set back here, way down there, but I really haven't got the best kind of cloud. So I've been trying to go in vertical mode, and I'm trying to get the movement of the clouds, the lower level clouds, because the upper level ones are actually got the nice reflection of the sun. And I'm just trying to, not sure if you can see. But yeah, hopefully I'll get some good shots out of this. Hey YouTubers, it's Baldrick here. So this is my second day now. Sorry, this might be a little bit wonky. I didn't bring my tripod this time to hold the camera. I'm just doing it handheld, awkwardly on the side. I'm actually down here again for the second time in probably 3 months now, down here at Second Valley, and this time I'm going to be shooting in the other direction, facing towards the sunset. The last time I was here, I was actually on the other side of the little archway, and when the sun set, I didn't get the required light reflecting into the clouds that I wanted. There was a bit of a storm coming as well that day, so there was very thick lower level cloud coming in. This time we've got a little bit more puffy clouds. It's going to be a warmer week, so we're looking at about 27 degrees, and in the city where I am, it's actually clear, and I had to actually look on the Bureau of Meteorology's website to see how the weather was down here, and it said partly cloudy. Now this place is about 25 kilometres, maybe a little bit more, from where I live. I'm trying to fumble my words here, but where I live, so it's a little bit of a hike just to come out here. So I'm cooped now facing towards the sunset, and I'll show you a couple of the photos that I've taken so far, and with the sun reflecting in it, it looks really good, and hopefully I can get a really good shot of it, because this is a really interesting landmark. There's trees growing out of the top, there's the angles of all the rocks, so it's a really good spot. And it's very treacherous coming here too. I actually dropped my bag, and I was worried that I'd broken a camera or some sort, but yeah, I had to drop the bag because the stones here are very sharp, as you can see in the back, very sharp. You overbalance there, and it's a good night, Irene. So yeah, I'm going to sit around here for a little while, see what happens when the sun sets in about probably an hour's time. And my arm's starting to ache. I'm holding this by one hand. Oh my gosh. So I've got just my camera here, as you can see, perched right here, and as you can see, I'm myself wedged wedged into the cliff face. I magically was able to sit down here. It's not the comfiest seat. I'm on. Oh, woo. I might have to move from here in a little bit, otherwise there's going to be some things that are not supposed to be in certain spots. Okay, so we've just rocked up into Lightroom and we've taken our photos off the camera and we've started to go through the photos. And there are a few here that you might think, oh, that looks all right. But then you go through them and you think, well, hang on, I took a whole bunch of photos here. And yes, I did. I did some vertical, I did some horizontal. And the thing that with landscape photography, the important thing that you have to consider is always try and capture your highlights. And that means that, for example, as you can see on screen, I've exposed roughly for the scene in general. So the highlights, which are the clouds here, are a little bit overexposed, but you still get to see the rocks here in the foreground. Now, with these few shots, I know that I was manually going through the camera, changing the settings. So I was exposing for the bright parts, and then I was exposing for the dark rock area. And that's prevalent by seeing this photo. This one is I've exposed perfectly for the sunset. So, which photo am I going to choose? As you can see down here on the screen, I've got a whole bunch, but none of them, maybe that one, I could do something with that, but as you can tell, it's really only exposed for the clouds. So I went through and I'm thinking, oh my golly gosh, look, this one. The foreground is dark. Now, I'll show you the photo that I decided on, which is, as you can see on the screen here, it's this one, but this is the original. Now, why did I choose this photo? Simply put, the movement of the clouds here. I liked the fact that there was a little bit of sun being reflected in there, and that this was on an even scale in the frame with the sky. And so with most of the editing done, we'll have a look at what the final outcome was. Here it is here. As you can see, it's very much different, and it's still the original one, original photo, but I've duplicated it so I get a virtual copy, which means that in the catalog, it means you just have another one that you can work with. I always keep two, just in case I don't like the edit of this. I can go back to that one, create another virtual copy, and do another edit, and try and get it just the way I like. And the good thing about this is I liked the sun here reflecting in the clouds, that once I took this photo, I knew I had to get a vertical. And so that's this one right here. Same time, exactly the same time, and exactly the same camera settings, because as you can tell, I think it's this one. I think that's a virtual copy. No, this one's actually on its own. I didn't do a virtual copy. So, and so I can show you what the difference is. If I go here, you have a look. So so this is the original, and that's the virtual copy. And as you can see, you've got all the rock formations, and you've got the color in the rocks showing up as well. We'll click off that one, and we'll go back to this one, and we'll go into the develop section so we can actually see what we've done. Now, if we go over to the side here, we can see we've reduced some of the highlights. So we've been able to do it that we've brought down a little bit of the exposure from the clouds. we've increased the what have we done here? Yep. So we've actually reduced some of the shadow section, and then we've also messed around a little bit with the whites. So this here is a little bit less overpowering of the scene. And then we've gone down into this little section down here, and we've improved the clarity and the vibrancy of the rocks down here. We have also, because the sun is right there, if I zoom in, there is the sunset. The sun's right about there. And as you can see, that is the Second Valley Jetty. And as you can see, you got graffiti as well. I didn't really want to go into the photo to mask that out or anything. I just felt like in the overall picture, you won't actually see it. What did we do? So I did a whole bunch of changing of the exposure. So for example, in that little spot there, I removed the brightness. I reduced the exposure, as you can see by here, 1.15%. And then I went and just did a little bit more reduction in exposure just in these little areas here, because what was happening is that the sun is actually, the brightness in that spot right there is actually reflecting into the lens, and it's giving a bit of a reflective, what's the word I'm trying to find? A reflective light that's bouncing in between the lights. So what happens is that it looks a little bit like a fan. There's almost like a little bit of a overexposed section there. And so what I did, I've darkened it a little bit more. That's with the brushes, but then you're thinking, how have I got this back? With all these little minor critiques, changes to the picture, did you really get that back? No. What I used was, I used a gradient filter. This gradient filter was almost 2.5 over. So that means I've brought, because I shoot in digital negative, all this information was brought back. As I said, originally like dark, and we were able to put it to that. See, so that's the positive thing about when shooting in digital negative or raw, depending upon the camera you use, is that I was actually able to bring back all the details, all the color of the rocks, of the grass, and even a bit of the ocean over here. So yeah, 2.35 increase in exposure just for this area. I think that's about it, really. Yeah, just those two little exposure spots. I think for a minute I thought I did something with the sky, but I was mistaken. There was only ever one. As you can tell, you can usually tell how many gradient filters are by the little dot. So yeah, that is the edit that I've done for this photo. And it's now back to the, before I go, cut that bit out. Now, prior to going back the third, I think I did it the third time coming back here, when I went on the other side of the this ridge, I had this is when I went the second time and I was shooting from the other direction. as you can tell, it's not the best angle. The sun was behind me, and as you can see, the clouds, it was a bit stormy, and the clouds came in, and I was more interested in these puffy little clouds than this saturated cloud formation. And secondly, if I can go here, if I go there, if I go to my thing, what you will notice is these little dots. It's because I'm shooting an f16. What happens there is that when you shoot anything higher than probably an f9, the photo will show any blotches that you might have on your sensor, no matter what, if you were able to get it cleaned. I actually got this sensor cleaned, and still there are a few blotches here and there, but they are actually manageable. And with the shots that I do take, they don't actually appear. So there, that's my edit of the Second Valley Arch. We're now back to going to the shed. And welcome back to the garage. As you can see here, this is the final product. This is one of the photos. This is the photo that I actually got printed off. It's actually in an 11x14 matte. That is perfect for if you want to go to your local Officeworks or Target or any framing company, and you can find a standard size 11x14 frame. So this is what it looks like. And just roll it in there. And I know at the start of the video I was saying that I'd done a 20x30 float frame canvas. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you it now. Here we go. Now I can't see what you're going to be looking at, so you're gonna have to believe me on this. All right? There we go. Okay, so there we go. There's the final production of the Second Valley Arch. Thank you for making it this far in the video. I know it's been a little bit long, and I know that editing this, I did worry that it may have been too long for people to stay and watch. But hopefully you've got this far and you've learned something about the processes that I use, not only to take the photos, but to also edit the photos ready for printing exactly like this one. As always, don't forget to like, comment down below about what you think, what you liked about it, and also subscribe. I'll be making a little bit more videos in the future, hopefully more videos when I'm on location doing landscapes like this, if I can remember to bring all my equipment, that is. And that's about it, yeah. This has taken a long time to get ready, a long time to edit and actually put into production, just because life's been getting in the way. So yeah, that's it from me today. And you know what? I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys.